All right, so there we go. Off to a good start here. This is Wednesday. We are almost to Christmas, but here we go. We're going to do the Comparative Anatomy worksheet today, and that means we're going to compare the anatomy of our bones to other animals' bones. All right, so let's start with ours. First of all, obviously the skull and the mandible. We're pretty much on top of that. We did a lot of these other parts. Cervical vertebrae, remember, is the neck. Thoracic vertebrae are in the middle with the ribs, and the lower ones here next to the hips are the lumbar. Now, ribs, we're breaking down a little bit more here. We have true ribs. True ribs are ones that attach directly to the sternum. See how that works? Right there, it comes directly to the sternum. False ribs all join together in the cartilage here, and it comes up and joins them, but they do not actually attach themselves. So they're called false ribs. And then finally, you have the floating ribs. They don't even attach. They just got to come out and help shield in the back. Okay? These false ribs and the floating ribs allow more protection, but they also give more room for flexibility and moving around and stuff like that. Okay, then we got our arms and legs and feet and all that good stuff. We know our ilium and our ischium and our sacrum and coccyx, and the pubic bone would be here in the middle, which is not labeled. So right here in the middle, this should be the pubic bone. So you might want to put that down on your paper. Let's just do that real quick. Why not? All right. Right there where those join together are going to be the pubic bone. All right. And of course in the femur and the tibia and the fibula and all right. Now what we're going to do, using the words on this thing on us, on a piece of note paper, you're going to put bird. And then you're going to number 1 through, looks like about 20. I don't see anything higher than 20. Does anyone else see anything higher than 20? No? Okay, so you're going to number 1 through 20. And then you're going to write down what the equivalent of these bones are to the human. Okay, so for example, number 1, well, that's the lower jaw. That would be called what in people? That is our mandible, so we put mandible for number 1. Number 2, these are vertebrae, obviously a backbone going down, but these are obviously also in the neck area, so we're going to call that cervical vertebrae, all right, and so on and so forth. I'll help you with number 3 here. This is coming from the shoulder, because there's where a wing comes in, so that's like the shoulder coming across like that. Actually, it joins up with another one coming up on the other side, which makes a wishbone, but to us, that would be like our clavicle or our collarbone, all right, and so on until you get to number 20. Then you would go over here to go down, I guess let's go down here and we do cat. This is a cat, just for the record. I think the top one up there is a chicken, but anyhow, this is a cat. All right, and so you're going to put cat and then number 1 through 25, it looks like, okay, and put down what you think each of these parts are. Keep in mind their feet especially are going to be different than ours. You might start at the end and work your way back, because you know the end digits are always going to be phalanges, and then so on. Okay, then you're going to do the lizard over here, same thing, 1 through 22 or thereabouts, I believe. All right, 22, and then you're going to do the fish. Fish are so much different. There are not very many there, 1 through 5, and then finally the frog, which has about 17 or so. All right. Now, once you've done that on a piece of note paper, you need to answer the questions over here as best you can. Some of this comes from the reading up here, and some of it will just come off of your thinking and what you've seen on the things that you've labeled. So, enjoy, have a good time, and we'll talk to you later.